Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing Jaberwocki's version of Domain. I know I've been playing Domain a lot recently, but the meta is kind of where it's at. But this deck list won the standard challenge, so we're going to be giving it a try in best of one. The deck list is obviously catered for best of three, but we want to see how well it can do. I like how it's constructed, and I think it'll do well in best of one anyway. So let's just go ahead and get into the games. And if you enjoy the content, please be sure to subscribe. I really do appreciate it. So let's get out there. I even have audio for this right now. I do. My music's just too loud. Okay. But we'll keep this. This hand's pretty solid here. We got double green for Stomper, and one can be untapped. And we got Sunfall and Virtue to connect us there. So we'll keep. We want our white source in first for leyline bindings and the sort. And if we need to use this Virtue, we can play the Mirrors if we had to, but get the Proving Ground down. I think we're missing one color. Yeah, we're missing blue. But we're going to go ahead and ramp here. Get to our Sunfall and things of that nature. We said we're missing blue. Even though we have it here, I'll just go ahead and grab it. We'll have to play Mirrors next turn, because most likely they're playing a Liliana here. At least that's what I'm feeling. The rest, well, not playing Liliana now. Another land in this cycle. Let's play our Mirrors. And we'll pass here. Do have to turn my music down because I can't hear anything. I feel like I'm talking so loud. Alright. Fourth lane drop. We got a Shielder coming. Hey, there's the Lily we knew was coming. I think they have cut down. Oh, they're gonna make us discard. Sure.
I'm tired of your secrets.
I don't know what this card is, so we're not gonna discard it. I don't have double black. I'm actually gonna get rid of Sparras. Well, I don't have double white, but we have it here. They just don't know about it. Ass. Nothing in here, but if they had a cut down, it wouldn't be holding priority anyway. Brutal. Let us get this down. Act Lily. Now, if they minus, we sacrifice the Mirrors token. We make another token. We can ensure that we kill Liliana here, even if they play something like a Shieldred. We'll let one of our gardens go. Liliana's putting in a lot of work for him. Our Trespassers, sure. We make Mirrors token. We don't really want to cycle here because we want to be able to attack with the Stomper. Our second white down. Stomper is available. Skip him in. I'd pop his Liliana out of the way. Proving Ground most likely will be getting cycled here. We have for Atraxa, we should have all the colors for Atraxa. They're gonna clean up a Mirrors token while they can. That makes sense. Removal for Stomper. Kind of surprised, but we get to pick up the Liliana. That flips. I'll trade off Stomper all day for this if I have to. Though, not solely convinced that they really want to attack out too much. The thing we're really afraid of, I think, is what top end they could be playing. One counter each opponent sacrifice creature with the highest power. Sure. What? Putting all their eggs in one basket makes sense, though. If we can't find a binding, I mean, that's a pretty good option too. We could also just Sunfall the board right now. Because this takes all our mana and then we can't binding this. Yeah, I'm down to Sunfall here. Now we also can make this token, even if they like untap here and play Liliana. It's also big enough to trade off their Foundry. In here, big dog. This one. Do they have removal? They definitely could. Go for the thirst's not enough. Need to have cut down. Get the block, we take out the land. Alright, well, deal with this one. End. Okay. I didn't play around that, but look at you go. Alright, well, I'll grab a herd migration. I will grab. I'm gonna just make. I'm gonna make 5 3/3s. So, in the end, was cool there. I definitely didn't play around it, so it's just one of the cases I haven't seen it in like a month, so it got me off guard. All right, we go first. I mean, we're pretty land heavy here. Not like in our hand, but we have a lot of lands in our deck, so well, we have 23. We get 1 green source. We got Stomper, and we're feeling really, really good about this hand, so I think we risk it. Technically have removal if needed. Oh, find another forest. Hopefully it's just Esper. I don't really want to play the mirror, to be honest with you, but if we have to, we will. Like just Esper so far. Stomper down. We have a white. We need to pick up a black source. Yep. Our spells are just turned on permanently. We'll get another white source, hopefully off this invasion. Well, wait a minute. I assume they have removal over anything else. Need like a white source here. And it's like a black source. No, domain's not turned on. We're missing red. Yeah, I guess I need red, right? To play this and kick it with both. That was my idea in the first place. And I was like, yeah, we don't need red for leyline binding. Why would we ever need that? Drop this down. There's a combat here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm most likely setting up here, and I'm not gonna attack the invasion. I'd rather flip it with the Archangel and have it attack later instead of playing into a Sunfall here. Just getting in there. It also has Vigilance, so it gets to play around. Gets to play around Wandering Emperor pretty well. Just Bean. Get the Bean up. And we can also just make a Mirrex token and force them to interact with us that way. We play an Emperor on instead. We can Archangel it next turn. This cycle, we already played a land. We'll end turn. Do the thing against control that you want to do and just make as many tokens off lands as you can. Force them to really do nothing. And just slowly attack them over and over again until we get a window open up and then slam something like Virtue. Most likely, I have a feeling that we're going to get things exiled here. So like Virtue coming in and bringing back creatures, not necessarily going to be that active. Play more lands. We want to be able to cast as many spells as possible, and I'm not moving. Like I said, my whole game plan, just make tokens with Mirrex, don't give them more value than they need, and then draw cards off of Beanstalk with something like Landline Binding. Oh, very well. So now we're going to see the value of the game plan we were talking about. They tapped out, we make Mirrex token. We untap, we draw, we hit an Atraxa, we will not play it. Let's do this. Then hit the black, hit the red. 1. Oops. Same damage, but we're threatening lethal next turn. Next. Now we attack with these. Down to 6. Pass. And if it's something like Farewell again, then we just slam into Traxa and we continue to press the board state like we have been. Farewell again. Sure. And we do not care. Very Stomper plus just make a Mirrex token, maybe? Ah. Do this. Mainly the thing I was looking for was to dig for things like Archangel and another Mirrex. We don't find it. I'll grab a Herd Migration to just keep making threats. Up to Beanstalk and a base. Stage you actually. It's probably the play here. We have to discard the hand size. I want to hold Besagian because for some reason they leyline binding this, but I doubt it. The populace probably bad. Go for the Throat seems bad too. Stage U has a lot more value in terms of blowing up things of relevance. This also has Vigilance, by the way. Sure. I draw more card. Keep making our land drops. We have enough to do both. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do not. So let us set them down to 2, I guess, if we can. I have 2 mana for something like a Make Disappear. Sure. Teeny boy. Fine. Cards left in our library. We have plenty of cards in hand. Just continue to make land drops. We can. Now we play Stomper as a threat, and then we just use Mirrex. We have plenty of lands left in the deck. Turn. Probably could have been prioritizing the Mirrex more. Oh, especially now. This. If they board wipe, they have another board wipe. Fine. We've already seen depopulate 2 Farewells. So eventually, the Herd Migration and stuff will just work. Don't really care that much. Do we have any creatures just in here? We do. We have an Atraxa. Sick. Alright, opponent. I'd like to pop one of these out of the way. Is that fine? Indeed it is. Land. Move to combat. Slam. I have 3 mana. There's an Atraxa. I mean, fair enough. 3 board wipes and everything. Go back in. Are they playing some Memory Deluge? Back. Okay. I'm gonna make as many tokens as I can. Also, that's really good fun. Sure. Board wipe. Land. Honestly, at this point, I'm just going to pull every land out of my deck that I can. Populate. Farewell. Okay. They're in. Up. Up. Recast this. Creatures with vigilance are pretty sweet. They just kind of shut the Emperor off. If I go here. Sure. One. Good rune, sure. So I have an answer from Merrick's anyway. Cycle. All right. Got all the tokens. Okay. Traxa. We'll take Atraxa. Take Herd Migration. I guess honestly, we'll take Archangel. We'll just bring that back. There we go. Go ahead. Find it. Sure. Okay, they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. All right, let's get started. Go first. We get to play Being on 2. Maybe have to use a Virtue, and then have Stomper ready with the Depopulate on backup if we can find some white sources. So we'll keep. To like mentally reset at a I don't know what you necessarily call it, like a clock abuser or whatever, but a guy was just going down to the very last second and passing. So I caught that game, of course. We won, but it just took a really long time for no reason. We'll play Beanstalk here. We'll draw. We find Invasion. Untap land will be massive for the Stomper. And then we'll get all the way up to 7 mana instantly. And then if we play something like a Raxa, the game will be over. What are we doing? Oh! Ew. Ew. I mean, good game. I understand. Yeah, it's tough. But, I mean, that happens a lot with mono red. They still win. Look, I even set it back because I assumed they were going to concede, but I kind of doubted it at the same time. Sure. You're attacking. We'll make it very hard for you in the next turn. Grab a white, second black source, play this Jetmir Garden. I guess we grab Island, so we have Leyline Binding active. So we grab Island, Swamp, and then we'll play Jetmir Garden for additional planes. Then we attack the Invasion, flip it. Now we'll have 2 4/4s that stand in the way. Big boy country now. Block with Stomper, by the way, and the reason we block with Stomper, if we lose it and we ever have to play the other side of Virtue, we can keep bringing it back. I don't really care about bringing this back. Because if we bring that back, they get it back, and that just wouldn't be good. Nebraska's Forge. Yeah, that card's tough. We'll attack with it, I suppose. Block like we said. The only problem they're going to run into, I'm not even going to give them a chance to block here. Just pop that out of the way. We're just going to hit him for 8. play an island. And I'm gonna play a Virtue. The reason we're playing this now is because we can bring back their Charming Scoundrel and not their Reinforcement. Again, we'll block with Stomper, and if we block and they play with fire, we'll just bring Stomper back and keep pulling lands out of our deck. Sure. I guess we can block with Spear. Because worst case scenario, they monster Shrage it and they trade out. Is what I'm hoping for. Again, I'll just keep thinning them from the deck. Go to my graveyard and I'll bring back the Stomper. Grab Red Source. Yeah. I mean, I guess if we flood, they could potentially win. I don't really feel like it's going to happen, but they could. For the throw, these make artifact creatures, right? No Phyrexian Horror, so we got it covered, I guess. Play another Triome. We'll pass here. We can then cycle another land, go for the throw this. If it gets too big or messy or something like a Godric comes in play, we can take it out as well. We sneakily have 6 mana here because, again, our Awakened Skyglaive can tap to add a mana. Charming Scoundrel. Sure. I assume it's making a treasure. I'll discard and draw. A cool thing with Charming Scoundrel, by the way that discard/draws work, when they're worded like this, if you have an empty hand, you can select that mode and discard 0 cards. Draw still. They don't attack here. You already said good game. I don't believe you. Now I do. Turn. Said good game like 5 turns, 6 turns ago, and then proceeded to play. But I mean, all good. That's what it is. Opponent goes first. A binding here for 2 if we draw 1. We have a Herd Migration to gain some life back and some beans, so we'll keep this. We play against on a blue. I don't like that. I don't like this at all. Play Headquarter. Hopefully Beanstalk can resolve here on 2. Play other sleight of hand. I guess they could play Spell Pierce. I think Spell Pierce. I never know if Spell Pierce is legal or not. Bad YouTuber. Bad. Oh, we'll get a Mirrex down. Let's fire off this Beanstalk. Please don't Spell Pierce it. Have it consider. Alright. Well, it resolves. So that's pretty sweet. Move on. Mirrex is kind of nice, by the way, because we can make tokens that can attack. But you find it go for the third as well. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. Time to bean. I'd like to play a second one. Counter this one. That would make sense. No? Okay. Bars. We'll play the Proving Ground. Next turn, we might just go ahead and play the Mirrex so we can start producing double tokens if needed. Oh, this is a spicy mono blue. They're fairy mono blue. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen this list before. To be honest, I'm really happy I haven't, but like, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, there's the Hottie Gen. Could just have negate, which would absolutely suck. But we go for it now, in case it's not something like a make this here. I'll have a negate. Hey, honestly, 5's is the turn. We're cool with that. Not cool with it, but like, we find it reasonable. Means they don't have a negate there, because I think they take the chance to negate that. Realistically, I'm cycling the Herd Migration. We'll need to gain the life. Most likely have to make sure we can find some untapped source here. White, maybe. Not sure what it's supposed to be. Drawing also way too many lands that it's uncomfortable. Might as well do it. My kicks for 1. I'm just using it to shoot them. Let's make this appeared anyway. The real problem is, even if we like have Merrick's in this matchup, it can never keep up. I think we're going to end up losing the mono blue. My favorite deck. So, we're gonna shoot you. No point shooting Hottie Gen. Doesn't make any sense. Pass. Using Archangel Rastus as turn if they'll allow us, but they bounce it back. They don't get to scry here. Get hit for 7. A full grip. Not a full grip, but we know they missed a land last turn. They played land this turn. We find another land. We're not getting out of this with this hand. So I'm just moving on. What? Like, I was kind of fine with playing it out because we had like Go for the Throats, the Leyline Bindings, and all that in our deck, but we just don't find any of it. So it's just not even a game. That's what it is. And we just did that to mono red. Happens to us against mono blue. All right, we go first. We can Herd Migration and play Stomper on 3. All. I about said mill. I was like, that's not even close to being right. Proving ground. Womp. Okay. Play this. Heard. Realistically, I guess I should have played the Proving Ground because I know I'll have enough for this. What do we need? We need a white source. I mean, I'm fine with also going and grabbing a white source out of the deck. Plot twist. I don't want to play it. Play it later. Sure. Fine. Go get another source, I guess. Play Stomper untapped here and just keep playing our Triumphs. Maybe our Trespasser. Come on, bruh. Well, guess we gotta answer that. Here. Yes. Resolve. We'll discard the Proving Ground. That's perfectly fine. Play the Stomper. We'll go get a land. We find untapped source here. We get to play that out. I need other white. I'll have another white next turn. Guess I need a blue, but I can play Sparrows, which should give me a white, blue, and a green. Got another Edict here. Got another Trespasser. I'll have a blocker at least. I'll have a really good blocker at least. Let's force you into a weird spot. I'd like to block this. Alright. Also cast this. So he's staying daytime. Shieldred. None of us want to talk about Shieldred. Pop this. I'll be all fine and dandy. You can attack with Graveyard Trespasser if you'd like. I don't meet the condition of this at any point. It'll probably be a while until I do. I will cycle here. Take that. Sunfall is pretty nice, actually. Little part of me just wants to Sunfall this. Because they do play Liliana and they do play the rest at times. So I think just getting this off the board and playing a Stomper after is just better. So let's do that. Should have used the mana off that. I kind of just blanked. Then I'd be able to flip this up on inset, but we can always just do it on our turn. We have plenty of mana here. Let's double down on the blue just in case they play Field of Ruin and they blow up our Sparta's headquarter. 6 mana, nothing. Virtue's up and active. here and here. Bring this up. Get in there. You have play Virtue. Honestly, we probably bring back their Shieldred or their Graveyard Trespasser. They don't want to find out. The worst part is if they find like exactly an answer to Virtue, which Mono Black really doesn't have an answer to, we just play another one, and then we force them to somehow answer it again. I don't even know what their answer to it is. Can't think of it off the top of my head. All right, so for winning a challenge in the best of 3 format, I actually kind of like the way that this deck is constructed for best of 1. And the reason for that is because we're not super overloaded on Beanstalks, which a lot of times can be bad against Shieldred or just kind of being like a dirtle card. We're not super overloaded on lower to the ground removal and things of go for the throat and something like Virtue. We're really relying on Leyline Binding, no ossification either, which is definitely interesting in terms of choices. But the main thing that made me think, oh, yeah, we'll probably be fine with this deck list is trimming down on these a lot. Because a lot of times just drawing these over and over doesn't really do anything. Yeah, we get more lands in play, but still doesn't do anything if we can't flip it. But we're on 5 board wipes here. Now, for best of 1, should maybe we move to a farewell so we can kind of get a catch-all? Yeah, probably. I definitely like that a lot. You could argue maybe we're supposed to play some lower mana spells that can kind of gain us some life as well. A little unsure there. We're kind of relying on Virtue to do that, and then hopefully getting to Atraxa when able to, and relying also on Herd Migration to gain us some life back. Also, in our land mana base, you could maybe argue that we're supposed to squeeze in a couple of creature lands outside of just Mirrex, which is very possible. Just use those to close out games against control, but as you can see, we're kind of well queued up against it anyway. But what I'm excited for, and like I've talked about, I think in one of the matches, is definitely for the future of this deck, what we get with the new set, with all the dinos. This list initially started out as kind of like an Atali deck, so I'd love to see when we get back to that, especially having the Beanstalks in play, the Stompers to get there, and then playing an Invasion after. Getting all the way up to those Atalis, Gishas, and things like that, and just playing the overwhelming spells over the top. Along with that, we also can get to play the lower Explore cards as well that we get to play in the new set. But that's all for me. I've had a really long day. I woke up at 9:30, went into work. I put in a 12.5-hour shift, and then I recorded this video. So if I'm a little mute in spots, that's pretty much why. But outside of that, I hope you all did enjoy. Plus, here's a sideboard if you all want it quick. Anybody that's interested. Outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you later. Bye.